So today we're talking to Sam Robbins, an anxiety practitioner, who's going to provide us with some tips on how to deal with anxiety. Sam, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and the work that you do?
So yes, I'm an ex-anxiety sufferer, and after I had followed a very similar program, I've since gone on to qualify as an anxiety recovery practitioner, and have written my own self-help drug-free program as a portal.
Great. So how can people know what anxiety is and if they're suffering from it?
I think the first signs that probably when I say them out loud, if you are struggling at the moment, you'll recognize the first thing that starts to happen is you become very tense and agitated. You struggle sometimes to go to sleep, and more often than not, you'll wake up in the night with what we term night fears. Um, you find it very difficult to relax and just to sit down and read a book or read the newspaper or to do anything that's calm or quietly on your own. You'll really notice if it starts to take hold that you speak very fast and everything you do is sort of in a rush. Not necessarily manic at this stage, but you can start to have a sense that everything is getting faster and faster. You'll also experience feelings of sort of dread and foreboding, and that whereas maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago you weren't thinking thoughts like that, they may start to become sort of encroaching on your headspace. And then the first sort of physical manifestations of early signs of anxiety are headaches and migraines, sort of tension in the neck.
Okay. Obviously, it's quite a stressful time at the moment. And what would you recommend are good steps to try and prevent worries that seem, could just be bubbling up at the moment, becoming more serious?
Yeah. So interestingly, you've just said yourself, this is quite stressful times at the moment. Um, um, I would first of all say not to get caught up in other people's negativity and labeling these times as doom and gloom and war times and stressful. So for sure, there is sadness and there is death occurring all around us on a pandemic level. But for those of us who are with our families, who are safe and secure in our homes, my first tip would be to not look at the negativity and to find the positive things that you've got in your own world. And that can be quite difficult to do, especially if maybe previously you were a glass half full type of person. So you could use this time to really try and change that behavioural pattern and look at the positive sides of life as they are now. The second thing is that I think it's interesting when someone points out to you how quickly the day passes, and how I know myself, being normally a very busy person, the more time you have, the less things you get done. So to really try and plan what you're going to do in your day and to enjoy doing things that you would never have had time for before, like meditation or reading a book. And most importantly, I think we never have chance to listen to our children and to engage in frivolous conversations with them. They're always conversations that are about work or school or doing things, but to be able to sit and just talk about frivolous things is an amazing advantage to the situation we are now in, that we have no control over. Which brings me on to point 3. I liken life to being in a boat with no oars, and that the moment you're in that boat without your oars, you have no control, and you have to accept and be liberated by what life offers you. So you may be in the boat, it may be stormy and it may be choppy waters one day, and the next day it could be sunny and it could be a great day. There's no light without dark, and there's no bad without good. It's all the rich tapestry of life. And I think for my point number 3 here is to really be aware of being liberated by letting go and not feeling you have to have control over everything. And finally, point 4, it's really good to have a mantra of some description to hand. I have a couple of them. One of my mantras is, what's the worst that could happen? That seems to sort of dissipate a lot of my worries if I get pent up and concerned. But the all-time favorite one is, this is very important I get this right, is that everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, then it's not the end.
Thank you very much, Sam, for today. It's been great talking to you. And before we go, can you let us know how we can find out some more information on how to deal with anxiety from you?
Yeah, so one of the positive outcomes, I think, of the corona lockdown is that we have made available now the full programme from start to finish as a free portal in bite-sized chunks on a daily basis, and that's released through our Facebook page between the hours of 10 to 11. It is Monday to Friday, and if you follow the programme to the letter in sequential order, you will not fail to recover from anxiety or to be able to live your life a lot better and a lot more stress-free.
That's great. That's amazing, Sam. Thank you so much for your time today, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.